What is religious art and how has it been relevant throughout Christianity? The purpose of this film is to educate others on what Catholics truly believe about the use of religious art and to see what practicing Christians' perspectives are. To find out other people's perspectives on religious art, we are interviewing 3 individuals who all identify themselves as believers of Christ.
Has religious art influenced you in any way? And if so, in what ways?
Well, religious art has influenced me. At St. Peter's Basilica, the statue by Michelangelo, the Pieta, it's moving. I mean, you get to see the movement, literally the movement in the marble. You not be moved by the Sistine Chapel, heaven versus hell, the good versus evil.
Does the use of religious art amplify or hurt prayer?
I think it could amplify it probably. It could help people because they can look at something or a cross or a statue or a painting and it can elicit a response, make you feel sad, happy,
Superb. Has religious art helped you understand the teaching better?
Yeah, I could say, in my grade school, they had paintings of the Stations of the Cross at St. Edith's School in Chicago, and that taught us, Stations of the Cross. It taught us, different, yeah.
Has religious art influenced you in any way? If so, in what ways?
Yes, religious art influenced me in 8th grade confirmation when I had to draw an icon of St. Francis. My friends had to do this as well, so when I saw the pictures of their saints, I became more familiar with the religious faith, and I learned more about other saints as well.
Should religious art be praised or used as a symbol?
I believe religious art should be used as a symbol because I believe God should be getting the praise rather than an object. Seeing art as a symbol can better people's knowledge of religious teachings.
Does the use of religious art amplify or hurt prayer?
I believe the use of religious art amplifies prayer because great events and artistic symbols that help us understand the religious faith. Also, religious art shows the history behind my religion, which I'm a Christian.
Should Christians use religious art in their prayer?
Yes, I believe Christians should use religious art in their prayer. In some cases, it depends, but I feel as though if you have a piece of art, you are able to be more in touch with your religion and the prayer you are stating.
Great. Should religious art be praised or used as a symbol?
I don't believe it should be praised in terms of praising it as an equal of us, the religion itself. I think it should be appreciated. I think it can definitely be used as a symbol, but I don't believe in praying to it or worshiping it in the same way that you would worship God.
Nice. Does the use of religious art amplify or hurt prayer?
I think it can be both. I feel like it can amplify it. I personally don't partake in using religious art while I pray. Good for reflection, but I think prayer is best when you focus solely on your relationship with God and not on any outside factors.
What is religious art and how has it been relevant throughout Christianity? Well, religious art is artwork that has anything to do with religion. Many religions, especially in the past, have used religious artworks to worship and serve as their gods. This is the reason religious art has been so controversial in the history of Christianity, as the foundation of Christians is to worship the one and only true God, not a man-made idol. Although Christians do not worship art, it can still be very relevant during prayer, as many Catholic churches contain ornate decorations and have many Christian symbols present. What do sources tell us about religious art in Christianity? First, we have information from the writings of past popes and saints.
In 1999, the letter of His Holiness Pope John Paul II to artists was written. Pope John Paul II praised artists, stating that none can sense more deeply than you artists. He continued by saying that human craftsman mimics the work of God. John Paul II highlights this by comparing the Polish words for creator and craftsman, which are nearly identical. He expresses that humanity drifts towards a more accurate image of God through art. Art allows us, those who were created, to become creators. John Paul II stresses the importance of artists in society. He says that they are just as significant as any other job and have a unique place within the cultural panorama of a given nation. Most importantly, Pope John Paul II addresses how the Old Testament prohibits images of God. He says that this teaching is a challenge, but also an encouragement to artists. With the lack of existing works of God, artists can fully submerge themselves in the mystery of God to create their own image. The church needs artwork. There's always been a relationship between the gospel and artwork. And this relationship invites artists to use their creativity to realize the mystery of God fully.
Council. The Fourth Council of Constantinople in 869 was under Pope Adrian II and Emperor Basil. It was initiated by Photius against Pope Nicholas. There was a total of 102 bishops, 3 papal legates, and 4 patriarchs brought together. They ruled that iconolism would be condemned by the council because of the lack of civil authority that the leaders held. Left that city. The Second Council of Nicaea took place in 787 and was initiated by Emperor Constantine VI. More than 300 bishops assisted this meeting. The purpose of this council was to make it a point to respect holy images. During this time, there was violence involving icons, and the goal was attempting to resolve this issue. The representatives sent by office left because of the violence shown.
What does the Bible say about religious art? Throughout the Old Testament, God condemned the use of religious art. For example, in Exodus chapter 20, verses 3-6, God states, "You shall not make for yourself a carved image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above." God is clearly stating the use of idols is prohibited and is a major sin. This writing is describing to us that the worship of idols and false gods leads us to be greedy and materialistic, furthering us away from the one true God. In conclusion, all of the interviews had different experiences with religious art, which gave them all different perspectives. For example, our first and third interviewees thought the art should not be used in prayer. They saw this as something that could take away from the main focus of God. In contrast, our second interviewee found art and prayer helpful to understand God better. As you can see, many people don't view religious art the same way, but having different views can create more diversity.